Right. Now, Tom, if I may, just a scene is occurring to me that we all watched. Well, actually, probably you didn't watch it because you always have better things to do. You're always either reading a book or writing one. But those of us who watched President Trump's State of the Union address will remember the moment when he announced in the chamber that the Black unemployment rate had now fallen to the lowest point since records for Black unemployment had begun to be kept. That is how the economy, quickly the economy had begun to grow again in the recent couple of quarters. Black unemployment lowest since the records began to be kept. And the Democratic side of the chamber sat on its hands. The Republicans applauded, but the Democrats sat on their hands, and there were some close-ups on camera. And not only did they sit on their hands, they all looked as though they just sucked on a lemon. What on earth is going on? What's going on there?
Oh, it will take a wiser man than me to explain all of that. But I will say that people have a vested interest in Black victimhood. I mean, without Black victimhood, you cannot get the Black turnout, and the Democrats would lose a lot of elections. So they must constantly push this. One of the most painful and I think cynical examples was this order issued during the Obama administration that the schools must reduce the disparity in discipline of Black males, and that government money would be, withheld if they didn't.
Right.
And one of the things that has happened is that you've seen an enormous escalation of violence. This recent terrible shooting in Florida with one of the kids who he wasn't Black, but he was Hispanic, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to keep their numbers right to please the federal government, all kinds of things are ignored, and all kinds of activities. But for example, beating up teachers in the classroom people would not expel for that as they once would have been. And the net result is that you put in the hands of a small group of thugs the ability to prevent an entire class from getting a decent education. That too happens on the other side of the Atlantic among the white underclass, with very much the same reasoning. People are afraid to study because they'll get beaten up by the ones who don't want education. And the net result is, for the rest of their lives, they are handicapped. And this is done over here in the idea that you're doing a favor to Blacks.